It's been about a month and a half, I think, maybe even more than that, since the last time I actually done a vlog. I've been very regular with my uploads on shorts and on TikTok and stuff like that, but kind of thought, a couple of people said to me, what is your actual goals? If you've ever watched any one of my videos, people keep on saying, they're talking about your goals that's coming up, what are they? To kind of fill you in the loop, I've not ran outside since, I think, the very start of November. The reason being is, and people say, what injury is it you've got? Because for it to stop me training must be quite a bad injury. And the thing is, it's a strange one, right? So there's a thing called, for all the runners that might watch this, pubis symphysis irritation, and mine was quite a severe case of it. But what's happened along with the pubis symphysis was my left adductor was being, like, what you would call very guarded. So imagine, like, if you really pull a muscle and how tight that feels. I've got that like all the time, but it's not an actual pulled muscle, it's the muscles guarding against any potential danger. And the reason why that's kind of came about is just been the excessive load of running. So it's running that's brought it on. So for the last, well, almost 3 months, I've been constantly rehabbing. And what I've actually did, and that's why it's all been like weight training focused on assault bikes and all that kind of thing, is I've had to take everything away that's really going to put my pubis area in any danger. So it's been really challenging, like mentally. My whole identity's kind of changed to running, if I'm being honest with you. So it's been a really difficult thing. So like lately, as I said, all the rehab stuff, I've been feeling much better. It's still there. The left adductor is still pretty guarded, but nowhere near as bad as it has been. But the pubis symphysis area, that whole thing, that seems to have like calmed right down, thankfully. It's just to get this adductor to kind of ease up, and the thing is you can't just stretch it. That's actually counterintuitive. In fact, I've been specifically told not to stretch, because what that does is put it on alert again, like something's wrong. So I'm kind of, and it's been really interesting because that's counterintuitive to everything I would ever do. And the thing is, as soon as I did stop stretching, it's got a lot better, and I mean quickly. So it's really amazing to learn this kind of thing. Now, I was taking the dog out a walk, that's where I am right now, and I just thought I'm going to grab a camera and update this, because again, I want to look back on this and tell folk what my goals are. So what are my goals? So on the new year, I did sit down. I do this usually every Hogmanay. I do this, but I actually did it on New Year's Day this time because of just the way my schedule was going. And I started journaling. Not something I do, not something I'm good at. And the reason why I'm not good at it is because I've been to a couple of journals, because I always had this perfection attitude of, if I'm not writing in it every day, well, what's the point in journaling? So I've been it. Now at this moment in time, the only entry I've got into this journal was New Year's Day, and what I'm going to do is, when I feel like there's anything worth writing, I'm going to put it down. The reason why I'm doing the journaling is just something for the kids to pick up and read where your mind was at. So, goals. This is something I really had to think out, because I am turning 40 in 4 weeks' time, and usually people think you're on a decline and you're on the slide and all that kind of stuff, and I would have said that 10 years ago, like 40, what are you going to do at 40? Just prepare to die? Actually no. My goals seem to all be, when I'm sitting down and I'm really thinking about it, is running orientated. And that's why I think it's hit me so hard, being injured, not being able to run. I've been back running on treadmills, absolutely like so controlled, but because I haven't been able to just go and run outside, there's been a few races that I had to pull out from, which I was devastated with. One in which I was meant to be pacing someone, so really upset about it. Having to pull out on someone like that was not good. It's not me. Normally I would run through it, but I couldn't. So running wise, turning 40 is a really exciting thing. I'm glad to actually say to folk. A lot of people, like I said, they'll be kind of think like, nah, the 40 is like you're getting old, what are you going to achieve by then? Depends how you look at online. Some of the folk I see has been so inspiring, and even some of the races I've done, where I've literally, remember one of the races I was doing on the 10k where I got a PB time, and I think in the last kilometre was this guy, maybe imagining the crazy things he ends up watching this, I'm not joking, mid-50s, and he ghosted by me like I wasn't there. And a lot of people might have been pissed off with that. I wasn't. I was fucking chuffed. I was like, so I've got another 15, 20 years of this? That's where my brain went. And that's the thing I'm going to do. Like, there's been a couple of races that I've done if I was over 40 at that point in time. So I'm obviously 39 right now. When I done those races, I was 39. I would have been in the top 3 if I was 40. And one of my big goals, maybe for this year, depending on how this injury goes, is to try and finish in a top 3 in a race. Now, I'm not going to go and pick a race where I think people are going to be slow. I'm just going to sign up for the races and run my absolute best, but all my training now is going to be aligned with that. So if you're kind of watching this and thinking like, but all you've been doing is weight training, listen, I pivoted. What I did was, never done focused on strength training for a long time. So that's what I've been doing. Squatting, hadn't barbell squatted properly in a long time, not in a progressive format. I've been trap bar deadlifting. Again, why trap bar deadlifting is because I have absolutely ruptured my bicep tendon off the bone in the past, so I don't want to go my over-under grip. And I wanted to do it very honestly, purely based on my own grip strength and not using wraps at this moment in time. And bench pressing, which was always a strength of mine. And one of the things, Frank, this way. And one of the things I really want to do for the rest of my life, like hold myself to a standard. So one of the things I wrote in my journal was I always want to be half marathon ready, as if someone had to say to me, let's go and run 13 miles a day. Not at a certain pace, but let's go run 13 miles. I don't need to go, woof, can I run 13 miles? I'll be like, no, I can do that. I can absolutely do that. And always be able to bench my body weight for double figures of reps. So imagine right about this moment in time, running about 75 kilo, which I am losing weight because that's a bit heavy for my running paces that I want to run. So like if I could bench 75, I could probably do 15 reps maybe right now, which is a good standard to have. So it's kind of trying to maintain that. Now that's going to be tricky because obviously when this injury passes and I've only got a full week of training left after today of the strength kind of journey that I'm on right now, before I try and pivot back into my reintroduction of running outside and being running time focused. So there's loads of things that I'm absolutely like, honestly, just buzzing about, if I'm being honest with you. Like I'm absolutely can't wait to get tore into this, but also very apprehensive because I knew if I made this video and I'm going to put it up and then people will talk about goals, that if I go and start running again and this is not healed and I need to take even more time out, people might end up thinking, not that it really matters, but people might end up thinking you're a bit of a fucking joker and a bit of a time waster. But those are my goals. Listen, if the running thing spirals beyond that, like my distances that I want to really do is focus on 10Ks and half marathons right now. If it goes beyond that because I get intrigued or I end up running random ultras or anything like that, then cool. I'm going to have wee challenges along the way. There's a massive change in life event that's potentially going to happen this year that again, I'm not going to go into. I've hinted at it before. I'm not going to go into it right now, but this might put a wee bit of spanner in the works. But that's not to say that I won't be able to pursue running goals right now. Aye, so that's the plan. That's the plan. And by the way, that's one of the favouriteest gifts I've ever got was this cup. I'm going to be a daddy. 2 kids down, which makes another point with these goals where these goals are going to be a lot more challenging, and it's the whole nature of kind of how life has had to change, like the way I train, the way I eat, the way I think about anything, is all based around the kids. This is going to make it even more of a challenge, but there's people you can come across online every single day, and even some clients that have led by example of how to tackle this kind of thing, and it's just always about being prepared. So that's the goal, just to reaffirm it. After this week is done, it's getting back to pursuing the running. Now my first race, I've signed up for one race and it's the Kilomathon in Edinburgh, which is on the 29th of March, which basically gives me a real, I think it's about a 7 or 8 week training block, and the goal is to have a PB in that race. The very first year that I done that race, I got injured, my calf went. I went into the race with an injured calf, and then it totally went that day, tore it slightly. And then last year I had food poisoning, but I still was able to run I think it was 53.23 in that race, which is about a 6:40 per minute my own. I know I can run faster than that, all going well. So it's just going to be total tunnel focus, and I do believe, all things taken into consideration, that getting a PB even then would be a possibility. Beyond that, I don't know what things are going to get thrown at me in terms of races. Tried to sign up for the Edinburgh Half Marathon, that's full. You kind of sign up for it unless you do it for charity, and I don't want to do it for charity just to get into it. I know that the charity would care, but just the way my head is, that doesn't really quite sit right with me. So there's not going to be a vlog next week. After next week, I'm going to basically start vlogging the comeback, what my training looks like at that point in time, to try and really start pursuing running, something I've never done before. As kind of you look back in this channel, I've done races, I've dabbled in running, but also dabbling with boxing, dabbling with weight training. But if it just became much more of a focus with doing the other things like strength training that alongside it, but making sure running is the ultimate focus and the pursuit of running races much faster than I have been. So again, I hope if people, if you happen to come across this channel, that you do subscribe, that you do try and follow this. Someone starting from the very beginning, really, coming off a legitimate almost 3 months off doing anything properly, and trying to go beyond where I've ever been before. So again, if you've got this far, thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon.